Yo, what's up, everybody? This is the bar breakdown for my Exposing Private Ryan Upchurch track. This is an explanation, bar for bar, about where I'm coming from, the story behind it, and what some of these bars mean, just in case some of y'all didn't understand. I figured this is a very specific situation that not a lot of people are going to know about. So I figured it'd be important for me to try to further explain beyond music what happened and allegedly and what Ryan is like behind closed doors, behind the Instagram posts and everything, what he's like more in private. Hence, exposing Private Ryan Upchurch. So we'll get right into it. To start off, at the beginning of the track, I say, "Man, it's really funny how you went after Chase. You really like talk about statutory rape. Now I see you're stacking that time with, hey, this dude is a hypocrite in so many ways." And this refers to the time where Ryan was going after Chase Matthews, his former artist, saying, "Oh, he exposed him for being around I don't know if it was, I forget if it was a child molester or if it was just a rapist in general." But not that that's funny, but like just saying that is awkward. But like if what was I gonna say? Ryan pretty much exposed him, saying, "Hey, you're hanging around." Not that Chase did anything, but he's hanging around people that have done bad things like that. Now, the problem is Ryan has done the same damn thing. Now I see you're stacking that time with Hay. You know, he's on Haystack's side now because Haystack hates Adam, but Haystack has been charged with statutory rape and went to jail for it. So, Ryan, you want to talk about Chase's circle? Look at your own circle. You're a hypocrite. You're going after Chase, but then you're hanging out with Haystack and another artist that I'm going to get to later in the song that's also a child abuser, at least a self-proclaimed one. So, yeah, Ryan, you're kind of a hypocrite with that. You kind of, yeah, you can't hang out with Haystack and then say other people are, bad for hanging out with people who have been charged with the same thing. That doesn't work. And then I say, across state lines, that shit is a felony and definitely a charge down in Tennessee. I'm relaying info like a PA, you get me? It's like I'm up in Washington with country rap Epstein. So, now, obviously, according to federal law, it doesn't matter what the state law is when it comes to crossing state lines. So, like, if Tennessee says you can't date over 18, under 18, but then like my state, Connecticut, says, oh, you can have relationships with anyone. 16-year-old can consent. It doesn't matter because you're both citizens of different states. And once you cross the state lines, it becomes federal, and the federal law is 18. That is the federal law. Once you cross state lines, it becomes federal. And as I will explain, Ryan broke that law, at least according to someone he was very close with. So, yeah, and as a nod to that, I'm relaying info like a PA, you get me? A PA relays info, you talk through a PA system. But Ryan cross state lines with someone from PA. Now in PA, you can consent to 16, but that don't matter when you're crossing state lines. Ryan is a citizen of Tennessee, where in Tennessee, no one under 18 can legally consent. So yeah, even if they were both from Tennessee, it would still be illegal. Ryan would have to not be a citizen of Tennessee for it to be legal, which it wasn't. And regardless of legality, it's still weird. Don't get me wrong, especially considering the age gap that I'm going to explain, but, and then obviously with country rap Epstein, y'all get that, I would hope. Now I say, we need the Ghost Ranch logs. Call up Patty for me, please. I'd rather roll with Tom and be cool with AC. They're both better rappers and they date over 18. I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory to me. I did a little double there. Cool with AC, Adam Calhoun. I'd rather roll with Tom, as in Tom McDonald. We need the Ghost Ranch logs because, according to Just in Time, Ryan likes to have people sign NDAs when they go to Ghost Ranch, which, if this has been a thing for a while, that's kind of weird, especially considering what I've heard about what goes on there. So, yeah, that's a bit odd. Lube Ranch. I should have called it Lube Ranch, but I called it Ghost Ranch to make it more obvious. And then call a Patty for me, please, because Patty knew about these things. She did. She just never said anything, which is wild. Probably, if what I would assume would be that, what I would assume happened is that Patty was just blinded by the fact that Ryan was making money and potentially stealing from him, which, that's a whole nother situation. A situation where I'm like, did anything ever come of that? If someone stole as much money as Ryan said she stole from him, you would think there'd be like a lawsuit or something. Some sort of like thing where he sues her to get his money back. But like, that hasn't happened. So I always wonder, like, was he really telling the truth with that? Really? Because, like, I don't know. It's a bit weird. Why is there no lawsuit? Same thing with Katie. It's like, why was there no lawsuit if it was really that big of a deal? But, Anyway, back to what I was saying. Yeah, so Patty knew about the stuff I'm going to talk about. So yeah, and now I go, fuck with me, I'll turn you to a crip that can't walk. You were making money, so you groomed a kid dog. 14 to 15, you should have told her get lost, but you made friends and used her to get off. I think most of that is pretty self-explanatory. Fuck with me, I'll turn you to a crip that can't walk. Obviously, the beat I use is Not Like Us, and in the Not Like Us video, Kendrick and his family were I think they were crip walking. They were, I think so, yeah, because the wife started doing that dance, and so, crip that can't walk, crippled, that can't walk, just a cute little bar there. You were making money, so you groomed a kid dog. 14 to 15, you should have told her get lost. I don't understand what, because now I'm going to explain that during this time, Ryan was 25 to 26 years old. What type of guy in his mid-20s is hanging out with a high school girl? I don't know. It's really weird. What type of guy in his mid-20s is making friends with a girl in high school that is not in his family? It's just some girl he met while at a show. It's kind of weird, ain't it? Really? Like, you really think about that for a second. But you made friends and used her to get off. You had to keep her silent. You're a bitch that can't talk. Like your ex-girlfriend's hiding your flaws. It seems like Ryan has had a lot of relationship issues. And a lot of them stay silent after, which is weird. You would think they'd be more willing to openly talk about things. But we're going to get to my next point. Because they're worried about the court dates, I'm appalled. I didn't think that's what you meant when you said you were an outlaw. So a lot of these girls, at least the one I talked to, and I assume others are kind of scared of the fact that Ryan could put them through and it's not even the fact that they would lose. It's the time and drama and the scariness of going against someone with so much money and time that can just bombard their lives with court dates and shit. It's not even a fact that they think they would lose. Because I know for a fact the person I talked to wouldn't lose if she got sued. It's not a matter of that. It's a matter of she doesn't have the time or the money or the mental capacity to handle dealing with something like that. And then you get the harassment from Ryan's fan base. That's the cult of Creek. And you add that all up, it's just scary to go against because he's a guy with money and time. And I'm not worried about it. Fuck it. Let's go, Ryan. So yeah, that's a problem there. And then I didn't think that's what you meant when you said you were an outlaw. I mean, apparently the law that Ryan broke was not the law you'd expect. Yeah, across state lines, that shit is a felony. I didn't think that's what you meant when you said you were an outlaw, Ryan. You really love Elvis, dog? That's crazy. Wait a second, who did that guy fucking marry? A girl he met when she was 14? That's scary. He was 24, man. I see the similarities. So just picking at the fact that he loves Elvis, and Elvis, he married his wife. So when they got married, she was like 21, I believe. 19 or 21 or something like that. I looked it up, but I forgot. But when they started seeing each other and like hanging out with each other, she was 14 and he was 24. Which it's wild. And this is like a confirmed thing. This isn't even like a speculation or nothing. Like, this is the woman that he married. And yeah, maybe at the time it was okay, but like really thinking about it now, you're like, oof. And that's kind of the deal here with Ryan. You know, he met a girl that was way younger than him and tried to wait it out, you know? So, allegedly. Yeah, I'm going to say allegedly a lot just due to the fact that technically, no, I don't have proof that he did these things, but the person who told me would have no reason to lie to me about it. So it's kind of like one of those things where you just kind of look at it and you're like, yeah, that's 99% likely to be true. But technically I don't have proof. She does. But I'm not in contact with her anymore, so I can't get that proof. And neither would I ask even if I was. Because like that's kind of her business, not mine. But due to the fact that we're not in contact anymore, I figured fuck it. But yeah, that's kind of the deal here, and I'm gonna explain more. What did you have in common with a fucking teen? I already went over that. Like, what do you have in common with a teenager when you're in your mid to late 20s? You let her do your makeup and you looked all pretty. There was a post on Ryan's Instagram that now has been deleted where this person was doing his makeup in Ghost Ranch. It's not if you look up Ryan Upchurch makeup, there's one where his first girlfriend, Brianna Valvite, was doing his makeup, but that's not the one I'm talking about. There was a different one. He was on live with a girl I'm gonna mention here in a minute, and she was doing. This is a common thing with him. He lets girls do makeup on him. So this is like a common thing that he does with his girlfriends, which unfortunately I don't have that video because it was deleted before I could get it, but I remember it because I'm going to say I was a fan of Ryan up until like from 2014 up until like 2023 or 2021. That's the time span where I was a big Ryan fan. So like I saw everything. I saw a lot of things that a lot of Ryan fans haven't seen because they weren't with him back 2014, 2015, 2016. I saw all that stuff. You know, she was out here repping that RHEC. There was a picture of her wearing the RHEC hoodie, the girl I'm about to talk about. You boosted her numbers up to such a degree that she reached my feed all the way up in CT. I started talking to her and it happened so quickly. I treated her good and so she gave me the deets G. You're gonna wish I never followed her, Brie Marie. Now, for those of you who might not know, there is this friend, in quotes, that Ryan would post about on his social media, named Brie Marie 16. That was her tag. It was later changed to Brianna_Marie 16. Now, this girl I dated. Now, I dated way after Ryan. I dated when she was over 18. We dated for 3 years in a long-distance relationship. And one night while we were on the phone together, she told me about how her and Ryan dated for 2 months, but she wasn't 18 yet. And she said that she agreed to it, but that doesn't make it okay, especially considering that he was in his mid-20s and he had known her for a couple years prior. So pretty much what she explained was that she went to a Ryan Upchurch show and she managed to go backstage and meet him. And after they met, Ryan started hanging out with her. Now, when they met, this was like 2015-ish, 2014, 2015. That's why I say 14 to 15, which she might have even been younger, but we're going to talk about that in a minute. So, so she went backstage with a friend. They met Ryan. She started hanging out with Ryan more, going to Ghost Ranch. Patty knows she went there because she explained there was like a time where like she went. So they dated for 2 months, you know, and then, but they weren't always dating. That's the thing. I'm not saying they were always dating. Ryan actually met her while, I'm pretty sure if the timeline matches up the way I think it does, Ryan met the Brianna I dated while he was dating Brianna Valvite, which was the original Brianna. 2 different Briannas here. Now, Ryan has dated publicly 2 different Briannas and then one not publicly because he knew she wasn't 18. But, yeah, he tends to go after Briannas. And then, so my Brianna, the Brianna I dated, eventually they were in a relationship, but then they broke up. And then, she would like be at Ghost Ranch and hanging out with Patty. Brianna had a horse named Leroy, and Leroy got sick, and I was dating her at the time, and he had to get surgery. Patty actually sent Brianna like $1,500 to pay for her horse's surgery. So that's the type of closeness that they were with. You know, Brianna knew these people. Like Patty sent her money for her horse. Okay, that's the deal here. That's what we're dealing with. Now, this is all what she said. She says she has receipts of everything that she has to protect her, just in case, which is wild. To protect her from what Ryan might say or do. But yeah. So that's the deal with that. And that's what I'm referencing here is that I started talking to her because her feed, Ryan blew her up. She had like 10,000 followers, and then I followed her, and then we eventually started talking. But yeah, that's pretty much the deal. That now, I have proof that Ryan and Brianna did a hangout before she turned 18. I don't have proof that they dated, but I have proof that they were hanging out together before she turned 18, which is weird in and of itself. That's still weird regardless, but, and this is because I know her full name. And I don't necessarily want to say it, but, I know her full name, and if you look up her name online, I know where she's from. Because, all right, well, going back to a bar where I said I'm relaying info like a PA, you get me? It's like I'm up in Washington with Country Rap Epstein. She's from Washington, Pennsylvania. So like a PA and then Washington. Washington. She does not live there now. You won't find her there, so don't try to go after her. But yes, that is where she was born. And so that's the deal there. And where was I at? Okay, here I am. But yeah, no, that's kind of the deal here. That's is there anything else I need to say before I forget? No, that should be it. Yeah, she's that's what I was saying. Her full all right. Now I'm back on track. Sorry. So Brianna is from Washington, PA, and you can look up the middle school she went to and at what year she was in that school because she was on the honor roll. Public school records that anyone can look up. Her name is there. And according to the school, she was in 6th grade in 2013. Now, math, this crazy concept, if you do the math, 24, now usually a 6th grader is 11, right? That's pretty common, 10, 11 years old. So 2014, 12, 2015 would be 13, 2016 would be 15. Now, Ryan knew her between 2014 and 2015. I remember the posts about her, which 14 to 15 years old, if she was 11 in 2013. So 2016, 2016, hold up. Math again. I need to math again. I should write this down. But so 2013, 11, 2014, 12, 2015, 13, 2016, 14, 2017, 15. Am I doing this right? Fuck. I need to write this shit down. 2011, no, 2013 she was 11, 2014 she'd be 12, 15, 13, 16, 14, 17 she'd be 15. And there are pictures of, I have a post of them together that was from 2017 when she was 15 years old. 2018, there are posts about from 2018 with them together. That's when she would have been 16. And then she started in OnlyFans in like 2020, which would put her at about 18 then. So, yeah, because it was like 2020, 2021 when she started OnlyFans. I dated her after that. And then So, oh god. So yeah, that's kind of like the math behind her. She was underage when they were hanging out. She was 16 in 2017, 2018. 16 to 17 in that time frame. She didn't turn 2018 until later. So yeah, that's kind of the deal there. So that's kind of what I'm going about with this. There's definitely proof that he hung out with her before she was 18. So that's not alleged. That's not alleged. That is a fact. He hung out with her before she was 18. Now, whether they dated, I can't technically prove that. She can. But what type of... Now, Ryan was mid-20s at this time. He was 25, 26. He's 33 right now. You can do the math on that, too. So, regardless, it's still fucking weird. But, alright, now we got a more song to get through. Yeah. So that's kind of the story behind all of this. Alright, so... Now, breed number 3, you had locked in a harness. She was 23. It was legal, but heartless. 31 is still not dating around your age, retarded. Almost decade age gap was nothing but a target. It's fucking funny, then the struggle with your music started. If I was her father, you'd be sleeping in a tar pit. So this is about Brianna Harness. Now, breed number 3, you had locked in a harness. That's not a literal harness. It was just a play on her last name, Harness, and it was just like a play on words there, and it's metaphorical harness. She was 23. It was legal, but heartless. Yes, it was legal when he dated Brianna Harness. Doesn't make it okay though, because he was in his 30s and she was 23. It's really weird. Again, you can look this up online. You can look up Brianna Harness's age online. She was 23 in 2023. So, yeah, that's a little... She's my age. She was born the year I was born. She's like 8 years younger than Ryan. It's kind of weird. And then, you know that Ryan knew Struggle, which is her father, way before that. Like, there are pictures of Ryan and Struggle hanging out in 2019 where Brianna would have been 19 years old, you know? So it's kind of weird, you know? Like, you gotta think, like, they knew each other because Struggle featured on Ryan's Cheatham County. I think it was Cheatham County, his Cheatham County EP, which was his first EP he ever released back in 2014. In 2014, Brianna Harness was 14, so he must have known about Brianna for a long time at that time. Like, you would think. Maybe not, but you would think. So, yeah, but either way, that relationship was legal, but you could kind of tell that something was off with the way it broke up and the way Brianna acted after. Like, she didn't want to talk about it or anything. And I have my own theory that Ryan wanted to get her pregnant, but she didn't want it, and that's why they broke up. Because, like I'm about to explain, then you went and got your ex-bitch fucking pregnant immediately after hurting her. That's demented. Your relationships are fucked, dog. We can sense it. I wonder how many... So, yeah, like, he literally went back to his ex-girlfriend from before Brianna Harness and got her pregnant, like, right after breaking up with Brianna Harness. That's wild. That's wild. Like, nobody else noticed that. He immediately went back to his ex and then got her pregnant after breaking up with Brianna Harness. Like, that's wild. I would be, like, like, I feel bad for her. Like, because Brianna Harness, like, that's wild. Like, and that's why I'm saying, if I was Struggle, I'd be pissed. You know, like, I wouldn't be fucking with Ryan after that. You get, like, I feel like Struggle didn't say anything simply because of Brianna probably stopped him. But I feel like that shit was fucked. Like, not gonna lie. But again, this isn't about illegal anything. This is just some shit I pointed out to show a history that kind of backs up my claim, because Ryan has a history of dating girls with big age gaps between the two. 8 years is a bit, man. Like, it's almost a whole decade. So yeah. And then I say, like, it's fucking funny. Then the struggle with your music started. Honestly, the struggle with his music did start after he broke up with Brianna Harness. And it's just funny because her dad is literally Struggle Jennings. So that's just funny. I pointed that out. I wonder how many you would need off the census before you could be free of your sex offenses. In the back of your mind, I could guess you're always stressing, hoping that nobody's going to question those ages, though. So that's just my, that's not factual. That's just my kind of like teasing. I don't know how many sex offenses Ryan has, but I'm 99% sure he has at least one at this point. And if you have at least one, it can be figured out that you might have more than one. But that's alleged. That's very alleged, You're taking no L's, but Katie's in the same boat. She was 20, you were 28. The history shows. You've been country rapped in Nero for a while. Fucking gross. Hey, grown-ass man, let this young girl grow before you go and take her back to your home. So you're taking no L's. Katie Noel, she's in the same boat. Katie is younger than me. She was 20, or actually no, she's a year older than me. She was 20 in 2019. She was 20 in 2019, and that's when her and Ryan dated, and he was 28, which again, an 8-year age gap, and that's just showing the history here. That's the whole point of me bringing up Katie and Brianna Harness. It's just the fact of showing that he does in fact have this history of dating girls that are way younger than him. He does. Like, Katie couldn't even legally drink yet. But he was dating her when he was pushing 30. He was 28 years old. Like, what? Like, that's wild. Like, that's wild. That's a wild age gap. I don't care. Yeah, it was legal, but just because it's legal doesn't mean it's okay. And I'm pretty sure, like, they knew each other for a while beforehand, too. Because Katie was on Adam's The Throne. And actually, let me look up when The Throne came out, because that would actually kind of, let's see, when did The Throne come out? Dynamite. It was after 2018, so I'm not saying it's illegal or anything, but what I'm saying, The Throne came out in 2018. So Adam knew Katie in 2018. She was 19 at the time. So yeah, they kind of knew each other. Like, that whole circle was around when she was 19. It's just kind of wild, So, hey, grown-ass man, let this young girl grow. So that's a reference to Hey Boy, Hey Girl, the song that Katie and Ryan put out together. Instead of Hey Boy, it's Hey Grown-ass man, let this young girl grow. Hey Boy, Hey Girl, Before you go and take her back to your home, I know it was wrong if she lied about the grope, but what could push a woman to go down that road? She would have had more success if she tried to stay close. Maybe she just saw what the future would hold. Now, this is speculatory on my part, but so Katie, I'm pretty sure it's been proven that she actually did lie about Ryan groping her, which, I mean, of all things he's done, that's not the worst thing. If it was true. Now, obviously, it's very wrong to lie about something like that, and that's why I'm not a Katie fan. I don't really follow her that much. I don't really listen to her music or anything. I think, it's a good thing that she's shut up about it over the past couple of years, but other than that, I'm not a fan specifically of her. She's, it's kind of like one of those things. I just kind of ignore her existence. But yeah, I mean, you got to think like Katie would have had more success if she stayed with Ryan or broke up with him and then was like friends with him still. But to go that far, unprovoked, is kind of wild. Like, you got to think about, like, why would Katie do that? Why would she just, like, you'd think, oh, it's to take down Ryan, but why would she want to take down Ryan? That's the thing. It's like, why? Like, what's the point? She didn't have to take him down to make her career successful. So why did she do that? What pushed her to do that? What pushed her to say those things and to do that? And you got to think, like, was there something going on? Why did she want him out so bad? Why did she want to take him down so bad? Why? Because like I said, she would have had more success if they just stayed friends. Or if they just, broke up amicably. You know what the word I'm trying to say. Amicably, whatever. That if they just broke up on good terms, she would have been way more successful. So why did she do that? I don't know. That's speculation on my part. I think she might have saw or knew something about him that, I mean, think about it now. Everyone's going after Ryan. We thought we're friends with him. Maybe Katie was just the first one to try and do something. You never know. But yeah, a drugged up baby going out of control. He admitted to taking Adderall, which is crazy. You're down so low, but you keep getting higher. 46 stories in a day with the spiders. So Flawed TV, he counted how many stories, like Instagram stories, Ryan did in a day. And he dropped 46 stories in a day. So that's wild. And for someone to say, I hate being online and everything, like, you're online a lot, Ryan. Talking shit. The thing, he talks so much fucking shit, bro. He's constantly online talking shit. It's wild. And then he gets all defensive when people react to the fact that he's talking shit about everyone. Like, what? So 46 stories in a day with the spiders, living in your basement thinking, man, this shit is fire. Yet you say you hate being an online liar. Locked up in your house thinking that you're MacGyver. Sorry, Ryan, but you're not a war survivor. You ain't gonna do shit when shit gets dire. Guaranteed I keep your ass running like fiber. So that's just kind of a double there. Ass running like fiber. Fiber makes you shit. But you think you're MacGyver. You're not a war survivor. You haven't done and you haven't gone through what you think you've gone through, and you're not that tough is pretty much, I'm observing you're a perv strung out on a wire, romantic playing harp strings when you see minors. So he's a perv strung out on a wire, romantic playing harp strings when you see minors. Now there's a reason why I put harp strings. Ryan knows why, because that plays into Brianna Marie's last name. I'm not going to say it, as I don't think that's, my information to give out, but just know her name is tied to that line. There's a reason why I said harp strings. And then C minors, C minor as in playing a note, but C minors as in seeing underage people. All right, so now we get to the nitty gritty. Please stop saying nigga acting like you tough. Gen Z be saying nigga on the regular, bruh. Ryan has this thing, and Adam does it too to an extent, but Ryan does it more, where like he'll be like, nigga, and it's like, bruh. Like I've like my generation, Gen Z, people think we're like super sensitive, but like a lot of us don't give a shit. And like, and it's not just white, it's white, black, people, whatever. Pretty much all of my homies are black, and none of them, like, they don't care. Like, they literally don't give a shit. Like, we say it with each other all the time. So when Ryan does it, to be like all tough, be like, yeah, nigga, it's like, okay, dog. Like, you're not that tough just because you say it. We say it all the fucking time. It's not that big of a deal anymore. You know, you act, it's funny. No wonder why you got with a girl so young. This nigga really wants to be one of us. Yeah. You know, you want to be Gen Z so bad. You want to be all tough and fucking saying nigga. Well, no wonder why you got with a Gen Z girl that was so young. No wonder why you get with so many girls in my generation, not your own. Wait, I shouldn't call you nigga, you're not cool enough. Let me pull up to your place so I could call you bluff. My niggas work security, they'll back me up. Since I know your pussy ass would never do a 1v1. He just hides behind security and acts tough. It's funny. And then, you know, just the fact that, like, he's not cool enough to be, like, I shouldn't call you nigga, you're not cool enough. And it's because, like, he's not saying it because he's cool, you know? He's not part of the group. He's kind of weird, and no self-respecting black man would let him say that, not because he's white, but just because he's a fucking weirdo and he's not cool. He's not cool. He's not on that wavelength. He's not, you know, he thinks he is, but he isn't. As someone who knows a shit ton of black people, he ain't on that wavelength. Not like that. So, yeah, as far as I can tell, nah. And that's kind of the deal here. Like, he's snitching on people. He's being a weirdo. Like, he's losing his street cred with that group of people. You can't be a snitch. You can't be hiding behind security all day. You can't be talking shit and then not backing it up. Like, that's kind of the deal here. It's like, damn, like, you really about to be a pussy and then think you're tough by saying nigga? Like, no. That's some lame shit, bro. Yeah. And then now this is where I get into the boozy badass situation. Another dude that Ryan is hanging out with and says he looks up to, that literally is proclaiming to have abused his child and his nephews. Like, Boozy Badass is a fucking weirdo, bro. Like, this dude literally said when his son and his nephews were 12, he hired a prostitute to suck their dicks. And he proclaims it, and he's proud of it, bro. I don't know how this dude hasn't been, like fucking investigated. But, like, that's the dude you're looking up to, Ryan? Makes sense. Like, goddamn. Like, what the fuck? Who does that? And I say that, it's like, you chilling with the nigga who got his son's dick sucked when he was 12. He's a child abuser. You're not a badass. I feel bad for your kid, bruh. I really hope your daughter doesn't meet another you, yeah. Because, like, I hope his daughter doesn't meet another guy like him. A guy that would hang out with her when she's 14, 15 years old, not even wait till she's 18 when he's in his mid-20s. You know, a dude who hangs out with charged statutory rapists and guys who proclaim to have their son's dick sucked at 12 years old. Like, I hope his daughter doesn't meet another him. I don't give a fuck. Like, I hope she doesn't. I hope she has a better life. I hope she gets away from him. Because, like, what the fuck? Like, that's wild. And then, you know, to end it off, imagine that your girlfriend can't go see you in a club. Man, you were performing and she wasn't old enough. She had to wait outside. Motherfucker, that's rough. Now, back to Brianna Marie. There was, she said that she went to go see him in a show because they were dating, and she went to go see him, and she couldn't get into the club because she wasn't 18. It was an 18 and up club, and she couldn't get in to go see him. They wouldn't let her in because she wasn't 18, which is wild because they were dating. And Ryan's in there performing, and she had to wait outside. She couldn't go in. Like that's rough, bro. That's really rough. That's a rough deal, man. Yeah, that's wild. That's wild. So yeah, so yeah, that's a bar breakdown. Like I said, I have proof of everything that, other than the fact that him and Brianna Marie dated. That's the only thing I don't have explicit proof of, but I have proof of everything else I said. And like you can kind of see where where Ryan's behavior is kind of weird. It's kind of like the Drake situation, which is why I chose Not Like Us, where Drake does some weird shit, bro. Like, it's believable that Ryan would be like this, same way it's believable that Drake would do this. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. So that's that. So that's the bar breakdown for my song for exposing Private Ryan Upchurch. I hope you stuck around to the end. I hope you enjoyed the song. So I'm not gonna say my artist name because I'm not trying to do this for clout. I'm not gonna try to do this for views or whatever. This isn't for me. I make music outside of this, but I don't want to attach to this because this isn't what this is about. This is about morals. This is about, respect and just to stop this weirdo from ruining country rap. Because that's what he's doing. He's fucking weird, bro. And he's fucking ruining the genre with his bullshit and drama and trying to expose everyone all the time and all this bullshit that he never actually does. He claims he's gonna end everyone's careers and he never does. Like, it's just wild. Like, he's a fucking hypocrite. He's a weirdo. He's a loser. And we need to actually see that and fucking take it for what it is. If you like his music, you like his music, but stop listening to him ramble on about bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And stop defending him like he's your fucking god. But, yeah. So, alright. That'll be it. Have a good day.